Hi, Woody. Ilapag mo yung bahay mo dyan para makita ng mga viewers ko. Baka mag-subscribe sa'yo. Hi, The Warrior. Kumusta na? Hi, Red One. Hi, Cutie Connie. Masamang balita, ha? Pinatrikano naman ng China ang mga isang Navy ship natin. Is there an audio? Type on, please. Hi, moderator. Meron bang audio? So, may audio ba? Yeah. So while waiting for the others, ito dapat yung video pinakita ko kahapon, hindi ko mahanap. Let's listen to Secretary Benjok, no? Explain the economic plans of Pbbm. Wala pa naman tao eh. And
Before we start the chat, I would like to invite Secretary Benjok to provide his opening statements.
Thank you, Ruben. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Today, I will discuss the country's fiscal performance and outlook and the policy tools we need to pursue to sustain the Philippine economy's growth momentum. The Philippines is one of the fastest growing emerging economies in the region, with much promise of growth in the years ahead. And this is amid a fragile global economy. In 2022, the economy grew by 7.6%, the highest in the last 46 years. This is followed by a robust Q1 2023 growth of 6.4%. This year, we expect the economy to grow between 6 to 7%, then pick up the pace to 6.5 to 8% from 2024 to 2028. The pillars that hold up the strength and resilience of the Philippine economy are built on a solid fiscal framework, guided by the medium-term fiscal framework. To recall, the framework's goals are to attain a national government deficit to GDP ratio of 3% by 2028. That's where we were before the pandemic. Debt to GDP ratio below 6% by 2025 and around 51% by 2028. And sustained infrastructure spending at 5 to 6% of GDP annually. Our consistently strong fiscal performance, as well as improving revenue generation and spending efficiency, brings us closer to these goals. From January to June this year, revenue collections of the national government reached 1.9 trillion pesos, up by 133 billion pesos, or 7.7% year-on-year. Tax collections grew by 7.5%, while non-tax collections grew by 9.1%. Our stellar performance was the result of higher economic activity and efficiency gains from the digital transformation of our revenue agencies. The digitalization of the Bureau of Internal Revenue and the Bureau of Customs have continued to maximize the government's revenue potential, simplify taxpayer compliance, and improve the ease of doing business. Now, sustaining revenue collection
Okay
requires
lang,
a
Marcos.
simpler, fairer, and more efficient tax system, reinforced by a combination of tax policy and tax administration measures. Reforms in the pipeline include Package 4, or the passive income and financial intermediary taxation, a VAT on non-resident digital service providers, and excise taxes on single-use plastics and pre-mixed alcoholic beverages, which are expected to be implemented starting 2024. Higher economic activity and increased investments will bring us to even greater heights. The policy environment for foreign direct investments is the most open and liberal it has ever been. Aside from the economic liberalization measures, which have effectively opened many sectors, such as retail trade, renewable energy, toll roads, airports, telecommunications, and shipping, to 100% foreign ownership, the Philippine government is sharpening its public-private partnerships, or PPP, policy tools. This will allow us to engage the private sector more effectively in the funding and implementation of high-impact infrastructure flagship projects, which will significantly infrastructure development in critical sectors. Furthermore, the recently enacted Maharlika Investment Fund will serve as a vehicle for growth. As an additional source of funding, the MIF is expected to widen the fiscal space, reduce reliance on official development assistance in funding big-ticket items, and some target investments areas include
Yan na,
green
Rudy.
and blue
Masal,
projects,
dito
rural
na kita.
development, digitalization, sustainable development, and healthcare. So I look forward to discussing this in further details today. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Secretary Jokno. And again, thanks for this opportunity to be able to discuss with you a little bit more detail, particularly the fiscal outlook, which I think is an important topic, not just for those here domestically, but also offshore investors, which I speak to a lot, being based in Singapore. So I'll start with the revenue side. So just under the FF, and congratulations, revenue collections have been holding up this year, 14.4% of GDP. That's pretty strong. And under the MTFF, revenues are projected to reach 17.6% of GDP by 2028 from 15.3% this year. So I think that's ambitious. How do you get there? Is there scope for more revenues to be raised on a more permanent basis? Is tax administration improvements going to be enough to get to that goal of revenues?
Thank you, Ruben, for that question. You know, every president has a fixed term. It has a beginning and an end. And in the Philippines, the president has a 6-year term without re-election. So you got to do what you can do within those 6 years. That's why as early as the first month of the Marcos Jr. administration, we designed what is called the medium-term fiscal framework.
Yeah.
And so that's our North Star. We want to be, as you mentioned, where we want to be.
Nagtataka kayo siguro kung ano yung North Star. No, that is a common term used in business. A North Star is the North Star can be seen in the sky. It serves a directional guide sa mga seafarers. So, ang ibig sabihin ng North Star in terms of business po is a lofty aspiration or goal. So nagsaset sila ng lofty aspiration, mataas na goal, and that is what they are directing their activities and programs towards attaining that goal. Yan ang ibig sabihin ng North Star. Uh, it's an ambitious goal set by the economic planners po. So, ano ba yung North Star? Sasabihin nyo. Yun ang explanation doon.
by 2028. Luckily, we inherited a tax system that is superior to what they inherited, the previous administration inherited from the previous one. So that said, the tax system that we inherited is a good one, but it's not a perfect one.
Sorry, nakapaya mo.
And Nomura's Managing Director and Chief
This year, we expect the economy to grow between 6 to 7%, then pick up the pace to 6.5 to 8% from 2022,
Tapos na.
the ease of doing business.
which I think is an important topic, not just for those here domestically, but also offshore investors, which I speak to a lot, being based in Singapore. So I'll start with the revenue side. So just under the
What they inherited, the previous administration inherited from the previous one.
So, binibigyan ng credit ni Secretary Jokno ang previous administration. Ganyan dapat kung mayroong nagawa yung past administration na maganda, ay bigyan mo ng kredito.
So that said, the tax system that we inherited is a good one, but it's not a perfect one. Nothing is perfect, right? So I think for the first 3 years or 2 years, we can afford to just rely on administrative measures. But down the road, we will continue to reform the tax system, make it even better, and that's why I mentioned some measures that we intend to do. The single tax on single-use plastic, higher tax on sugary beverages, tax on MU. And these measures were also mentioned by the President, by the way, in his State of the Nation address. So on top of increasing administrative reforms, plus digitalization, the President mentioned that, we have some measures that we have actually lined up. In fact, I have roughly estimated what we can collect additionally from the new tax measures. Between 2024 and 2028, it will amount to about 1 trillion pesos.
Wow! Ang laki ng makokolekta ng gobyerno because of this measure tax. Yung mga measure tax sa mga alcoholic beverages, dapat lang. Kasi hindi naman necessary ang alcohol sa buhay ng Pilipino, pero mga lasenggo ang Pilipino. So malaking makukuhang tax dyan. So,
Okay, so interesting. So I think that needs to be emphasized, the sequencing. Tax administration measures at the beginning and then complemented with the measures when they get passed through Congress. Okay, so that's the revenue side. On spending, I want to ask how crucial are the reforms on pension payments of military and uniformed personnel, and when are you targeting that to be implemented?
That reform on military pension is going to be a game changer, okay? And this is
diba nung bago pa magkasona, minention ko na crucial po ang military pension fund reform. Kasi nakita ko talaga na I was disturbed by this pension fund. Kita mo, binanggit ni Presidente doon sa kanyang SONA. At saka, binanggit ulit ni Secretary Jokno ito. Kaya importante po yung live stream ko tungkol sa military pension fund reform. Kung babalikan nyo yun, yung mga argumento against for the reform of the military uniform personnel pension fund reform, makikita nyo na ang mga logical reasons why we need to reform the pension fund of the men in uniform. I-explain pa further ni Secretary Duke, no?
Said this has been an elephant in the room. The previous administrations don't want to talk.
Ano ba yung elephant in the room? Ang ibig sabihin ng elephant it's an issue that they don't want to tackle. It's theirs. They know it's a problem. Kaya lang, ayaw nilang i-tackle kasi masyadong mambigat yung problemang yun. Kaya ito lang ang matapang na presidente natin na matapang niyang sasagupain yung elephant in the room. Because it is not good for the economy, for the Philippine economy, if we continue subsidizing in total the retirement benefits of the men in uniform personnel. Yan ang ibig sabihin ng elephant in the room. Nandun ang issue, alam nila, pero hindi nila gustong itakal kasi masyadong mabigat ang issue yun.
Talk about it, recognizing it's difficult to push, but this president, having been elected with a majority of 60%. Okay, by the way, this is the first time the Philippine president has won more than 50%. Okay, because usually we have several candidates, and you can elect a president with only 25% voters, okay, voting for the president. This president was elected by 60% of Filipino voters. And so he said, yeah, we have to address this issue once and for all. Otherwise, it will have a catastrophic impact in the future, right?
Di ba yun ang sinasabi ko? Magkakaroon ng catastrophe sa ating Philippine economy kung hindi po re-reform. Pero bakit minention ni Secretary Jokno yung 60% na nakuha niya sa boto? Because now, Pbbm can spend some political capital because of his 60% vote, the 60% that he got as a vote in the previous election, in this election. So pwede siyang matapang sa pagtackle sa problemang ito. Kung mabawasan man siya ng popularity, hindi gaano kasi 60% ang nakuha ng boto. At saka ngayon pa nga 80% ang popularidad niya. So he can really afford to tackle this disturbing issue, to suffice it to say.
So this military pension reform will be, as I said, game changer. Yeah. It will open up a lot of fiscal space in the budget.
Ang ibig sabihin niyan, pag na-reform po yan, di ko konti po ang mababawasan ang allotment ng government sa mga pensionadong, retiradong men in uniform. So, yung matitipid ng ating gobyerno sa pagbayad sa kanilang pagsustena sa kanilang mga pension, yung matitipid po, mapupunta po sa ibang departamento. ang galing po ni Secretary Joke to mag-explain. Kaya kahit ito kahapon, I was so disappointed. Ito, hindi ko mahanap. Kaya didn't want to waste your time na paligo-ligo na wala naman yung topic ko. So, pinipilitan kong hanapin ulit ito. So,
my numbers are right, 2024, we have allocated something like 300 billion pesos. 300 billion. That's approximately 6.
sa 2024 pa lang daw, 300 billion ang ibabayad. 300 billion ang ibabayad sa pensyon ng mga retirado. Hindi po galing yan sa akin. Ha? Galing yan kay Secretary Joke. 300 billion. Kalahati man lang sana yan, di 150 billion. Mas maraming matutulungang mahihirap na Pilipino. Dapat yung mga kasandalohan saka yung mga kapulisan, isipin naman nila ang kapakanan ng mahihirap na Pilipino na sambayanan. Kasi mataas na rin ang sweldo nila compared to the ordinary Filipino workers. Their salaries are high. Kaya nga, kung magdadamot sila rin kawawa later on kasi wala nang ipambabayad sa kanila.
Billion US dollars for the military pension. Now, how soon will this be implemented? I think we are pushing for this. The military pension reform is part of the top priority legislative agenda of the president, concurred in by Congress, and we expect this to be passed before the end of the year, and so it will have an impact as soon as.
So, ginamo, talagang matapang ang presidente. Priority niya ang reform na yan. Kasi nakikita niya ang problema na pwedeng mangyari kung hindi po marireforma ang Men in Uniform Pension Fund. So, nauna tayong magdiskusyon yan na LS sa channel natin. Nakita natin kasi yung problema mismo. Sino ang parating nagdi-discuss niya na anong kaninong channel?
January of next year.
Okay, wow, that's soon if it's going to happen this year. Can I follow up? I know you've been doing the rounds and doing consultations with the stakeholders.
Hi, Sir Ami.
What has been the feedback so far?
I think so far, as we explained to them, that this is really for their own good to make the pension system more sustainable in the future, and I think they are very recipient. There are 3 types of beneficiaries from this reform. Those who are already retired will not touch them, more or less, because that's like a contractual obligation to them. Those who are in.
So, ano yung hinangangaw ni General Macanas? Hindi na siya ka-apektado. He is already retired. So, yung contractual obligation ng gobyerno sa mga retirado na ay hindi ma-affectuan. Si General Macanas nangangaw dito. Yung trying to incite the military to go against this legislative reform. Makitid po ang pag-iisip niya. Pero ang sabi ni Secretary Joke, it's for their benefit. Pinexplain daw nila sa mga personnel na it's for their benefit also because hindi po talaga masusustain ng gobyerno kung pababayaan nila na manatili na ang gobyerno ang totally so-subsidize sa kanilang pension. Kailangan may pondo Maliit lang naman ang hinihinging contribution. Hindi naman kinukuha lahat ng sweldo nila o kalahati ng sweldo na. The most, I think, is 9%. But they will start at 5%.
Active service will be asked to contribute gradually to the
Gradually.
system. And those who are going to be recruited for the first time will pay the full amount of the benefit. That's basically the way it will be structured. We have the treasurer and my several USECs have been going around and explaining to them. And so far, I think the results of the consultation are very encouraging.
There.
Okay, I want to move to credit ratings, the road to A. I know Fitch just recently put back the outlook to stable from negative, and Moody's was in town recently with discussions from the policymakers. What is your sense of the likelihood that there'll be more upward pressure on the ratings? What are these ratings agencies looking for to get to that?
I think much more difficult to get an A upgrade, right, from triple B plus to A. But that is still our goal. Our goal is still to what we call road to A, and so we expect to have that A rating by before the end of the president's term. Actually, Japan already has A minus for us, right? For China, the Philippines is triple A rating, but we want to get A rating from the three major rating agencies. I think they are still looking for, they do not doubt our ability to service our debt. I don't think so. So they're looking for more structural reforms that will maybe make our fiscal position stronger. And I think with these,
Bakit po importante po ang credit rating? Kasi it is a measure of the ability of a country to pay its debt. I'll set you an example. Recently, the credit rating of the United States was downgraded. As a result, the stock market, about 2 days out, two trading days ago, as a result, the stock market tumbled. So, 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 ganyan magkaka-apekto. Kasi kung mabababa ang credit rating mo, hindi ka masyado makakairam ng funds from foreign financial institutions. That's why iniingatan niya ang credit rating po ng Pilipinas. Dati po daw sabi niya negative po. Ngayon, it turned positive na. Sa States nga, sabi ko nga last week na downgrade po ang rating. Mataas pa rin ang credit rating ng States. Isa sa pangunahin ang credit rating. Pero slight downgrade lang, bumaba ng malaki ang stock market. Ganyan ka-importante ang credit rating po.
military pension reform, plus the right sizing of the bureaucracy, plus more tax reform, I think we'll qualify for A rating.
A rating
That's
na.
clear. Moving on to infrastructure, which the president also mentioned a lot in his SONA yesterday. And on the funding side, so you talked about the MIF. Can you just give us a sense of how do you expect the MIF to accelerate the infrastructure implementation? And given that it's only starting out, how soon do you realistically expect the impact to be felt?
Okay, let me give you a background. Under the previous administration, I look at when I joined the previous administration, I look at our infra as a percent of GDP. For the last 50 years before the Duterte administration, we were only spending something like 2%. That's why we suffer in comparison with our Asian peers, okay?
Kahapon, na-mention ko yan na 2% lang. Kaso wala ko yung data. So, hindi ko ma-pursue yung discussion about that. Kaya, ito yung mga classmates, yung represent ko sanang discussion kahapon, nabuliya so palpak. Hindi ko kayo, I will not waste your time na paikot-ikot na hindi nyo nakikita yung actual na footage o actual na source. Kasi ang aking intention parati, when I present something na argument ako, may makikita kayong proof na tama po yung sinasabi ko. Last night, ay pinutol ko ng very short ang live stream ko kasi wala akong credible na source na may papakita ko sa inyo. Always po credible ang source ng tinatalakay po natin dito. Ngayon, tulad yan, may papakita ko sa inyo po na tama po yung sinasabing 2% na which caused us to be a backward country because nagtitipid masyado yung mga previous administration.
As I said, we cannot sustain this. We got to increase our expenditures for infrastructure. And that brought about what I call the golden age of infrastructure. I started that. And it became build later on. So
actually pala, na-realize ni Ben Jokton na hindi pwede yan. Kailangan increase. Nagkataon naman na si President Duterte ay sinundan yung mga plano ng dating si Apo Lakay. Nagkatugma silang dalawa. Kasi si Secretary Jokto has been in government for lots of years. He has served under Arroyo, Estrada, and Noynoy. But those leaders, somehow, wala siyang, hindi niya he wasn't able to convince those administrations his plans. It so happened that there was Rodrigo Duterte, then President Rodrigo Duterte, who listened to him. And fortunately, President Rodrigo Duterte knew of the plans of Apo Lakay, ang blueprint. He has admitted it. So, nagkatugma ang dalawang minds. A meeting of minds is good. It is going to do a lot toward the progress of our country.
the previous administration spent something like 5 to 6%, and they delivered despite the crisis on that. And I think we should have a cycle of maybe the next, from the previous administration, the next 20 years should be, we should continue to build, okay? Now, previously, under the previous administration, when we came in, we don't have ready to implement projects. But, project development is kind of takes time, right? Project ID, evaluation, detailed engineering, so forth. Luckily, this government has immediately, it has a list of ready-to-implement projects, some 194 priority projects worth 8 trillion,
Wow.
8.3 trillion pesos. We need a lot of money for that. I look at the funding source for this 8.3. About 55% will be ODA, Official Development Assistance. 10% will be through the budget, and then 30% through public-private partnership. But we need these projects done as soon as possible. So the Maharlika Fund will be an additional avenue for funding this 194 and counting, because we continue to develop new projects, as I said, for the next 20 years, okay? So that's the source of funding that Maharlika can provide us, and it's a different form. It's no longer borrowing. It will have less stress on the budget because there will be equity contribution for this build program.
And in terms of the timing, when do you see that starting to have an impact on some of these projects?
Okay, the Maharlika bill was signed into law a few weeks ago. The law says we have 90 days to prepare the implementing rules and regulations, but immediately after the approval by the Senate of the bill, we started the preparation of the IRR. So we expect the implementing rules and regulations to be available by mid-August, or at the latest last day of August, and then we expect this to be organized, appoint people in the right places by around September. And so I think the Maharlika will be off and running by early next year.
Oh, in-explain ni Secretary Joto kung bakit malaking tulong po ang Maharlika Investment Fund. Kasi kung wala yung Maharlika Investment Fund na tutulong sa mga proyekto, mapipilitan tayong manghiram ng pera galing sa abroad o sa mga local financial institution. Magbabayad po tayo ng interest. Oh. So, those are investable funds naman, yung mga galing sa GFI, Government Financial Institution. So why not utilize excess idle funds ng mga government financial institutions? Nababawasan po ang panghiram ng pera sa ibang bansa sa local financial institution, considering the fact that right now even ordinary citizen can only borrow from the bank at 13.5%. Maski magtanong ka sa bangko, kung hihiram ka sa States at least, because I know someone who tried to borrow from the bank, ang sinabi niya, the lowest would be 30.5%. And the credit rating of the person is excellent. 13.5 pa rin ang interest rate. Kung per year yun, kung manghiram ka ng 1 billion, di 135 million na ang interest. Kung 100, kasi ang tina-target nila is about 125 billion. Ay, i-multiply mo yun ang interest na babayaran natin kung wala yung Maharlika Fund. Kaya yung mga kumukontra po sa Maharlika Fund ay short-sighted po. I-explain po natin dito. Pero ni-explain na maganda ni Secretary Joe.
Okay, thanks. I guess I have time for 2 more questions, if that's okay. One is more for financial markets. I get this question a lot from our clients on the currency. So the government is very clear in its prioritization of building infrastructure. But what that also means is you probably need a lot of importation for capital goods, which could increase the current account deficit and therefore could put some pressure on the currency. So from your perspective as DF Secretary, but also BSP Monetary Board member, how does the government strike that balance?
Well, the peso right now is in a comfortable place. but we are actually shooting for what we call competitive peso, right? We don't want it to be too strong nor weak, right? So again, our current account surplus right now we have
To explain, why doesn't he want to make the peso too strong? Di ba maganda dapat yan? Kasi po, kung too strong ang peso, ang mga produkto natin ay masyadong mataas. Hindi kung bibilin ng ibang bansa ang ating mga goods ay mataas po ang presyo. So mas hindi magpo-progress po ang exports. Kaya ayaw niyang masyadong pataas or strong ang ating peso. Yan ang ibig niyang sabihin. Dito niyo malalaman ang explanation niya. Bakit naman niya hindi po pwedeng maging too weak? Kasi kung weak naman ng peso, kailangan natin ng maraming pesos para bumili ng mga kailangan natin na goods coming from other countries. So, you must strike a balance. Magaling talaga si Secretary Joe. Yan ang explanation niya kung bakit hindi pwedeng masyadong malakas ang ating peso, hindi pwedeng masyadong mahina ang peso, kailangan balansyado lang ang lakas ng peso. Yan na po ang explanation.
when we were not spending too much on infrastructure, we have a current account surplus. Remember?
At yun sinasabi ko kahapon na nagtipid sila. Plus nga naman. Pero ang resulta ay hindi na progreso ang ating gobyerno. Ito may backup na nagsasabi. Kung sasabihin ko lang na wala akong source na magbabackup, hindi kayo maniniwala.
Remember that? So the peso was appreciating at that time. Now, but because of the needs for infrastructure spending, we might have some current account deficit, but that's a good way of having a deficit because you are investing in infrastructure, which will grow the economy, expand.
If you spend sa infrastructure, it's an investment po. Yung sinasabi ko kahapon, mahirap ko lang explain kasi wala akong backup. So, it will grow, it's an investment, and it will grow the economy. Nung nagtipid tayo, okay, nice surplus po tayo, pero hindi po nag-grow ang ating economy. Why do we need to grow the economy? Simple lang. Kailangan ng ordinaryong masang tao ang trabaho. Kung di mag-grow ang ekonomiya natin, tumataas ang populasyon natin, ay, siyempre, dadami ang walang trabaho. Kaya, magaling po si Secretary Joe.
Capacity of the economy. Plus, we now have a steady source of foreign exchange. Before, we don't have the remittances, which easily brings in something like 30 to 32 billion US.
Tinakol ko rin sa inyo. The importance hindi ko masyadong ma-explain kasi wala akong backup. So, tinakol ko sa inyo OFW remittances. So, ating deficit.
US dollars annually. We have the business process outsourcing. That used to be not available to us. BPO is bringing approximately the same amount and growing. I think I'm very bullish about our BPO prospects. Plus now foreign direct investments are coming in and also tourism. So with all those steady source of funding, plus we have a hefty gross international reserves. Our gross international reserves is in the neighborhood of 7 to 8 months worth of imports. The rule of thumb is if you got 3 months worth of imports, you're okay. So
Importante po ang reserves natin. Kasi that guarantees that we are able to pay whatever we are going to buy. Because kung wala tayong reserves na malaki, hindi tayo pagtitindahan ng ibang bansa.
So with all those, I'm not worried about the possible peso depreciation at this time.
Okay, thanks. And final question from me on the MTFF, just going back. So the target is 3% of GDP fiscal deficit by 2028. How open are you to the possibility of allowing slightly higher than 3% if, for example, the economy is facing a lot of external headwinds, even though that might mean that it might be more difficult to keep debt to GDP at less than 60%?
I've seen I've been in government for too long to see the folly of stopping the infra whenever there's some problem that you pointed out. No, I won't stop the infrastructure spending.
Kasi kailangan natin talaga ng infrastructure spending. Oh. Kasi kung hindi mo gagawin yan, madidelay. Kasi yung mga may mga proyekto pong kailangan i-complete. Kapag in-stop mo yung infrastructure spending, may mga proyekto hindi maaantala ang completion. That is the main reason. Ewan ko kung itatakal niyan. At saka kasi ang bawat project dapat pag-aralan. Mayroong plan, timetable for the completion of the project. Pag hindi mo pinondohan yan, hindi mako-complete yung proyekto.
Because slowing it down will only have negative consequences. Right? There will be many unfinished projects, and
yung sinasabi ko, unfinished projects kasi hindi mo pinundohan. Diba?
Along the completion of some projects, which would then change the calculation on that net present value, the internal rate of return, so forth and so on. I think once you start a project, you got to make sure that you finish that project. Okay.
Yan sinasabi ko, di ba? Sinasabi ko yan. You must make sure that you finish the project. Ngayon, kung di mo pupundohan, makakasama sa ating ekonomiya.
And therefore, when you make a plan, it's you want to move from point A to point B, but you can expect it's not going to be a straight line. There will be some adjustments along the way, and so I'm willing to maybe increase the deficit if necessary, as long as we can continue our infrastructure projects.
Yeah, I guess that also means that infrastructure and better quality spending.
Of course, we have to make sure that the quality of spending is retained all the way. Okay.
Okay, I think that's all the time we have for this chat. Thank you very much, Secretary Jokno, for the candid answers.
Thank you, Benjamin Jokno and Mr. Paracueles, for that very engaging and very encouraging
Part 1 po ng economic planners and explain Pbbm's plans. This time magbasa po tayo. Unang-una, I would like to credit Lily Ragasa. Ay, nandito na ba si Lily? I admire her a lot kasi, one, hello everybody, ha? Ito, sabi ni Lily. From Lily Ragasa. I want to correct what I said, what I commented earlier regarding PBBM and VP Sara salary. Sabi ko, walang diferensya kung di nila kukolektahin. Pero si Sara, dapat kolektahin niya yung sweldo niya. And then, it turns out I was right. Both opted out of their salaries as DA SEC and DepEd SEC. Oh, hindi nila kinukolekta yung salary na as DA SEC at DepEd SEC. So tama ako. Dapat kolektahan nila yung salary nila sa as president and vice president. Diba? Sabi ko, there's nothing wrong if they collect their salaries, but if they do not salaries, well and good. That's for our benefit also. By I doubted yung, I raised a little doubt kung hindi na kinikolect. So, thank you. Yan ang gusto ko. You correct yourself and yung meron kang konting pagkakamali. You are a lady after my own heart. Pagbasa po tayo ng komento bago tayo matabunan. Shout out, Tatay Jack first, sabi ni The Warrior. Si Woody Nasal Vlog, ay, supportahan po natin yan. Kasi sumusuporta na po. Sabi ni Redon, good day, Tatay Jack first. And then sabi ni Connie, good Jack. So at last, the moderator is present. Loud and clear. Okay. So, si The Warrior. Believe ko kay Warrior. Sandali. Pag nagtatamsak ka, madami. Ito yung premiere po ni Woody Nasol. If you have time, please go to his channel. Support him. Si M. Chris, si Maria Cristina ay kikinig lang daw. Hello, Maria Cristina Chris, sabi ni Obmats. Hello, Tatay Jack first, masantos siya simba at sika. Masantos mo siya simba at sika. So, incidentally, napansin ko, kayo, you followed my advice na magbabad kay Ma'am Lintik. Diba? Nagbaba din ako. What I preach, I practice. Siguro nakabingwit kayo ng ilang mga subscribers dahil sa pagbabag nyo doon sa kanyang site. Hindi humingi ng katumbas si Ma'am Lintik. Legit po siya. Ma'am Lintik, pinopromote kita rito. Chinil de Arcio, hello. Thank you. Panay ang replay nitong mga magandang babae na, magandang dilag na sa replay pag hindi siya nakakaabot. I appreciate pag-watch mo ng replay, Ma'am Nilda Arcio. Mega love shout out. M. Chris, Red One, Moody na Sol, Cutie Connie, Nelda Arcio. Sabi ni Check Sevilla, Woody na Sol blogs, I will connect. You follow her example. Si Nelda Arcio, binabati si Red One, Cutie Connie of Bus, Mary M. Chris, and Tech Sevilla. Ayaw ko kung may vlog si Cutie Connie. Sabi niya, may vlog siya. Bakit hindi niyo subukan din mag-subscribe sa kanya? Maski, what you call, wala pa siyang upload. Let us encourage her to do some uploads. Who knows? Baka pag nag-subscribe kayo sa kanya, she will find a way to to produce some video. Mas hindi political, okay lang. Kadalasan dun sa site ni Ma'am Lintik, hindi naman politika ang ang kinukontent na ordinary life, ordinary activities. Pagkain, pamamasyal, pasayaw-sayaw, pakanta-kanta. Yan ang ginagawa ng mga vlog doon. They earn money though, doing that. Why not earn money? At the same time, you like blogging anyway. So, sabi ni M. Chris, Texvilla, Nelda Arcio, mega love shout out, mga ma'am na classmates, sabi niya. Good morning, sabi ni Ryan Blackwell. Jack first, class blessed Sunday po. The Warrior Mohudi Nasol blog is being greeted by Nilda Arcio. Let us try to subscribe to Udi Nasol. Driving mode si Tatay Amik, Sir Amik. Kailan ka mag-LS? Kasi hindi ko alam ang time mo. It's not regular kasi. Siya nga pala, I'm back to my 5:30 regular time. Yung makukolekta sa tax beverage, pwede bang kumuha doon para sa health at pension fund ng MVP? Pwede. Kinukuha na nga ng M-Chris kasi walang pondo ang mga men in uniform. Pinupondohan ng gobyerno. So, isang posibleng source of funds of the retirement ng personnel is coming from the tax that the government is going to get out of the alcohol beverages. But these are still funds that are being collected for the benefit of the government. These funds go to payment in part to the men in uniform pension fund. Wouldn't it be nice if instead of allotting 300 billion nga, 300 million nga sabi niya. We could slowly scale it down to about 250 million. Slowly scale it down. Yung allotment coming from the actual budget. Yeah. Precisely. One of the reasons why, siguro, they increased the tax on the alcoholic beverages is because of the pressure exerted by the men in uniform pension fund sa government budget natin. Tama ka dyan, Chris. Si Nilda Arcio, Rich Ceramic. Buds, hello, Nilda Arcio. Hello, Trixie Villa. Si Ryan Blackwell. Si Bogs 3, Warrior. Si Bogs 3, supportan ninyo. Red 1, Cutie Connie, Mempress, Buds, Trixie, Nilda, Amic, Mega Love Shot, sabi ni Ryan Blackwell. Sabi naman ni JLL Opinion, good morning, JLL Opinions. Good day, Tatay Jack and everyone. Ryan Blackwell, JNL, Mega Love Chat. Oh, may nag-greet sa'yo. JNL. My Chris, Ryan Blackwell, Mega Love Chat. Oh. CM Chris. Binati si JML, Mega Blessed Sunday. I think I pretty much subscribed to everyone else here. Very good. Carclea is present already. Carclea, fruitful ba ang pagpunta mo kay Ma'am Lintik? Good morning, Tatay. Good morning, classmate. Box 3, The Warrior, Woody Nuttall, Chris Ubas, 1975. At sabi ni Carclea, hello, Trexie. Oh my God, hanap-hanap si hanap sa tatay sa'yo kahapon. Oh, nami-miss ko siya. Pero sabi naman niya, naging busy daw siya eh. Hindi naman mag-absent yan kundi siya busy. I just said, no harm done. Oh, si Pia. Nandito si Pia. I'm always happy when Pia is here. Miguel Love Chat po. Tatay Jack first, hello, good day. Yan. Hello, sis Nilda, Cutie Connie, sis Ryan, Pia, Dr. Gospel, coming from the president. Trixie Villa, dito binabati ko lahat ng bati. Mega love shout po. Pia di Gospel. Hello, ate. Nasa labas ba kayo? Binati ni President Fontelo si paring amig daw niya. Chris. Hello. Carclea, Pia, Blessed Sunday. Si Carclea, si President Carclea, binabati si GNL. Binabati niya si Red One. Si Mim Chris, binabati si Red One din. Si Trixie Villa, binabati si President Carclea Pantelor, si Ryan Blackwell. That's what I do. Bell on all. Hello. Si Nilda Arceo, Ma'am Carclea Pantelor, Pia Di Gospel, DNL Opinion is being greeted by Nilda Arceo. Si Pia Di Gospel, binabati po si Trixie Villa, Ryan Blackwell, GNL Opinions. Si Trixie Villa, binabati si Ceramics at saka si GNL Opinions. Hello daw. Si Trixie Villa, binabati siya. Okay, another con. Si Gia, nagbigay na ng komento si Gianel. Tignan natin ang komento. He says, PBBM deserves mark commendation. Palakpakan daw and our appreciation for knowing how to direct a progressive Philippines, including the ability to choose the candidates for positions in his cabinet. Example, tama na naman siya. In some example, pinili niya si Secretary Duke. No, he did not look into his political leanings. He knew that he was the best, and he is the best for the position of Department of Finance. Tama ulit si GNL opinion. Si Ruel Lingan, I hope wala sa biyahe. How are you, Ruel? I really like Ruel. Hello, Carmela mali. Hindi po Carmela si Pontello, Pia de Coswell, Sevilla. Ay, nagpaumanhin si Janelle. Clea, okay, there. Oh, MKS, ito na naman. Maganda na naman po ito. The goal is the person who borrows. Ang asensyang pagkukunan nila ng investment ay hiram din, di ba? O ibabalik din nila sa mga ahensyang pinagkukunan. Depende yan. Kung nagbaro po yung ang gobyerno sa investment, tinutukoy mo ba ay ang Maharlika Fund o ibabalik din nila sa pinagkunan? Kung ang tinutukoy mo po ay sa Maharlika Fund, ang Maharlika Fund na hindi po binaro yan ng gobyerno, it was an investment of the idle funds of the government financial institution. Kung di gagamitin sa Maharlika Fund, to correct you a little bit, pwede i-invest yung fund na ito, let's say 100 ang invest nila sa Maharlika Fund. The government is not borrowing from this funds, 100 million can be invested by such institution sa ibang fund. So in effect, hindi po nagbabaro yung gobyerno sa mga ahensya. Is that clear? Ulitin ko. These are idle funds that are going to be invested by the government financial institution. So, since the government has an investment fund, they can contribute to it. And since it is an investment, they who choose to withdraw it anytime. But being a part of the government and knowing that the fund is going to be successful, they are advised to keep their funds being contributed in the fund itself. Yan po, hindi po nanghihiram ng pera sa ahensya ang ating gobyerno. They are asking them to invest. Iba po yung hiram sa investment. Ruel, just to clarify your question. Sabi niya, Ruel, maganda yung mga question ni Ruel. Nakaka-intriga. Kim Chris, hello. Sabi niya, no worries, JNL. I've been called worse. Sabi niya, Ruel, gising na po ako. Yeah, mga classmates kayo. Mga classmates kayo sa ah, sa sa channel ni Bob. Hindi, classmates tayo lahat doon. And Ruel can give testimony as to the goodness of Ma'am Lintik. Di ba, Ruel? Other option is to build, operate, and transfer. You're right. Divina Navales Babar is a new addition, and she is, I think, an independent blogger. Suportahan po natin si Divina Navales Babar. Nandyan. Kaklea, Cutie Connie, Ruel, sila sa Judy Basco, Trexie Villa. Magsuporta po tayo kay Divina Babar. It's not that hard. Just go to her channel immediately and then subscribe and like. Put the notification bell and push the like button, and you're done in less than a minute. Oh, yan. Divina, I'm promoting your channel aggressively. Kung di pa ako nakasubscribe sa'yo, I will subscribe after the show. Hindi ko kita pwedeng bigyan ng jacket ko if so ever. Hello, Carclea. Pinabati ni Obbatch si Ryan. Binabati po si Carclea, Mampia, Rowell, Divina, mega love shout to. Ayun, I step up, nag-aaway yung dalawang anak na, you go ahead. Take care of family first. Ryan Blackwell, hello. Divina Dan, mayroon nang dumikit tayo. Divina, hindi na sayang ang pagpunta mo rito. Kung araw-arawin mo, araw-arawin din siguro may didikit. So, ibig sabihin, direct investment ang gagawin ng ahensya. Tama ka dyan. Hindi po nanghihiram ang gobyerno. It was, they advised them to invest. So, it was their option. It was their option din kung ilan ang i-contribute nila. Kasi funds yan eh. Yung surplus ng ahensya yan coming from their previous investment, successful investment then. They have their rate of return of investment. Kaya lumalaki ang pondo ng mga bangko dahil sa investment. Yung bangko nga, pinupondohan na ng ating mga deposit. Kung pananatilihin nila yung deposit lang na hindi sila mag-invest, malulugi po ang bangko kasi nagbabayad sa ng interest. Anong ginagawa ng bangko? Either ipinapautang din sa ibang mga kliyente na mas mataas ang rate kaysa sa binabayad nilang rate sa depositor. Mas mataas ang rate sa mga borrowers. Or they invest in worthwhile project. Ganyan ang ginagawa ng bangko. Sino ang nag-invest so far? Yung mga bangko, Land Bank, the Development Bank of Philippines, and the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas. Mamintig wala ka dito, pero panay ang promote ko sa iyo dito. nagre-request po ang ating magaling na matulungin na vlogger na si Ma'am Lintik na patamsak lang daw sa kanyang channel. Disitahin natin sa everybody. I'll give you a minute. Please heed my request. Patamsak. Go to Lintik and tamsak. Yung ibig yung tamsak, i-push yung like button po. I'll give you a minute. I will not proceed. I'll give you a minute. Ma'am Lintik, sabi, this is a safe channel po. Wala pong murahan dito. Makikita mo, maski mag-score ka dyan. Walang nag-aaway. Ito ang pinaka-safe na political blogging channel po. Okay. Nakapag-like na po ba kayo kay Ma'am Lintik? Okay. Thank you. Tatay, pwede bang patamsak? Pwede, siyempre. Thank you much by all, sabi niya. Hi, Ma'am Lintik, coming from your avid fan na si Ruel. Sabi niya, ito po yung address ni Ma'am Lintik. You can do. Si Ma'am Lintik, binabati si Kuya Ruel much, sabi niya. Thumbs up, done. Okay. Tinag-tap down niya. Si Nilda, nag-thumbs up na rin. Kita mo, Ma'am Lintik, ha? Sinong mga magpupulis ng asensya ng investment, lalo na at terminus na ang Pangulo at ang mga appointed position ng agency? Maganda ang tanong mo. Kasi, kaya nga tinanggal ni Presidente Pbbm, ang pangalan niya, naging chairman. He is out of the management of the Maharlika Fund. Ngayon, napaka-importante ang tanong mo. Sa business po, ang nagpapatakbo para maganda, ang nag-aalaga ng assets ng business entity o ng business institution, mayroon po silang internal auditor. Ang internal auditor is parang COA. COA is the internal auditor of the whole government. Yun lang. Pero in this case, Maharlika Fund will be assigning internal auditors. Coupled by COA perhaps. Anong function ng internal auditor? To look at the financial transaction of the Maharlika investment funds so that they do not go astray from their stated policies and programs. Kung maingat ang internal auditors, mananatiling safe po ang Maharlika Fund. Pero mayroon pang isa. Ito mabigat. Yung external auditors, tutulad ng narinig mo ba ang CB? May mga magagaling na pwedeng pa-audit nila sa foreign o tulad ng the Anderson or whatever. Hindi ko na, I have not kept up with the international auditors. Pero ang pinaka malakas na mag-safeguard po, magpupulis according to you, sa mga ahensyang mag-invest ay yung mga external auditors. Ang external auditors will give an opinion sa financial statements kung ito ay maganda, hindi ka doon kagandahan o masama ang patakbo ng said financial institution and or in this case, agency. Kaya kailangan po ng dalawa, internal auditor at saka external auditor. Ang nasabihin po ng batas na mayroon yung dalawang auditors. Kasama pa, kailangan nilang mag-report sa Congressional Oversight Committee composed of 7 concurrently sitting congressmen and 7 senators. So tatlo ang safeguards po. Doon sa congressman may mga opposition doon. Kasi hindi pwedeng all administration lang ang ilalagay doon. That is the normal procedure po. Sa committee, sa committee pa lang, we have opposition members, we have administration members, pero hindi pwedeng ang committee ay puro administration members. So, unang-una, mayroong internal auditor, mayroong pang external auditor, mayroong pang reporting to the Congressional Oversight Committee composed of 7 congressmen and 7 senators. And mayroon diyang COA since this is a government corporation. Aside from the internal auditor, mayroon pa po bang COA? So, maski umalis na po ang ating presidente sa pagkapangulo, patuloy pa rin ang pag-alaga ng mga auditors na yan sa Maharlika Investment Funds. Kasi nasa batas po yan, Ruel. Wala na ang pakialam si Presidente Bongbong Marcos after he leaves office or even in his current position as a sitting president. He has nothing to do with the Maharlika Fund now. What he is interested in is to know that the Maharlika Fund is successful. Maganda yung tanong mo ulit, Ruel. Good morning po, Ma'am Lintek, sabi ni Juan. May mga avid fans ka na rito, Ma'am Lintek. Coming from Tatay Jack First family, pamilya po to ng si Ruel, pamilya na rin ng Tatay Jack First. Hello, Ma'am Lintik, dan thumbs up with bakas. Galing-galing ni President. Ang mga Pilipino ay biktima ng advances insertion of fund and fund driver. Kaya tinanong ko kung sino ang magpupulis. Correct. Pero mahusay po ang ating presidente. Hindi niya. Ang magmamanage po niyan ay yung mga professional fund managers ng stock market. And these fund managers will not risk their wealth and fortune in trying to have a corrupt ongoing sa Maharlika Fund because they will ultimately suffer. Tatay, they are appointed by the president. Partly kasi You cannot help it because it is the money of the government. Although it's run by independent professional managers, siyempre, maglalagay ka dyan ng director na who have the interest, directors who have the interest of the Philippine government. But the management is done by professional managers. Not all that the board of directors, I don't know if how many board of directors will be appointed, will be recommended by the president. But the Secretary of Finance will act as an officio, ex-officio member, meaning takamasid lang sa operations ng Maharlika Fund. Yeah. Kung all of the directors o board of directors, ang nagpapatakbo rin nagseset po ng policy ng isang kumpanya ay yung board of directors. Ngayon, ito safety lang po. Nag-appoint man ng presidente ng board of directors who set up the policies of the Maharlika Fund. And policies po are general guidelines. We have the Congressional Oversight Committee. Hindi pwedeng internal auditors dito. Yung policies po, we have the Oversight Committee of Congress who will look into the policies. So, marami pong safety guard. Marami pong safety guard. I think this fund is safer than most funds that are not being. Mas maganda pa nga yan eh. If I were in the Philippines, I will invest in the Maharlika Fund. Kung nandun ako sa Pilipinas, hindi ko invest sa ang pera ko. Titignan ko din muna. Pero to help our country, I will invest part of my fund sa Maharlika Investment Fund. Pag maraming Pilipino nakitang successful po ang fund, maraming mag-i-invest dyan sa Maharlika Fund. So, salamat sa pagbanggit mo. So, wala nang kwento? That if it is called investment, among investment is just the projects that the investors can earn. How about the public projects na hindi kikita, di uutang pa rin ng gobyerno? Yeah. Yung hindi kikita, tulad ng hospitals, kailangan umutang ang gobyerno kasi di may deficit po tayo. Pero, kung di uutang, paano ka magpapatayo ng hospital? Paano ka magpapatayo ng mga daan? Paano ka magpapatayo ng mga airport? Pero, ang importante rito, mayroong PPP, public-private partnership. So, kaya nga may toll roads tayo. Biyahero ka eh. Alam mo, may toll roads tayo. Diyan ang pwedeng pag-investan ng ating Maharlika Fund para siguradong mayroong return. Di ba maganda? Siguradong, example na lang, dumadaan ka prati sa North Diversion Road, sa INLEC, sa SLC-LEC, nagbabayad ka ng toll gate. Anong binagbabayaran mo? Sa San Miguel Corporation, mayroon yun yung RIFID, di ba? Saan napupunta? Sa mga private institution, bakit hindi mag-participate ang gobyerno? Yung mga private institution, maglalagay ba ng pondo sa pinunduhan yung project kundi kung alam nilang malulugi sila? Oh, di ba? Ruel, isip-isipin mo. Maganda yung mga tanong mo, pero maganda rin ang kasagutan. Hello, Eva! Oh, Eva is here. Build. Oh, tama nga. Yeah. Hi, sis Eva. Eh, bakit hindi na lang ang gobyerno ang pautangin ng mga ahensya sa mababang interest? Ay, umuutang nga eh. Actually, hindi. You cannot, itong sagot dyan. You cannot borrow from yourself. Hindi pwedeng manginam sa sarili mong pocket. Kaya nangungutang ang gobyerno sa local financial institution. Yan sagot. Ang gaganda ng mga tanong mo. Ha? Very intriguing. Ha? Kasi pwede naman kunin yung pondo ng gobyerno kung gugustuhin nila. They can require the government financial institution to give them the money. Kaso hindi nila tinatouch because they are necessary for the welfare of the financial institution. Kaya ang ginagawa ng gobyerno, let them invest in the money fund. Sabi mo, build and operate transport yun tayo. Sige, they build it, they operate it once na the time for them to operate under the agreement is passed, ita-transfer na po sa government. Tama ka dyan. Tama po ang observation mo. Kasi ang contract, may kontrata yan eh. Hindi forever po na makikinabang sila doon. There will come a time that they have to transfer yung project na yun sa gobyerno. Si Ryan Blackwell, makabalik na. Ayos na yung dalawang kuting mo na makukulit. Ma'am Eva Ponsolan, mega love shoutout. Ay nako, punta na tayo dun sa mabigat na problema naman. Ay, hindi pa tapos. Tayo dapat required yung mga dyan na mag-invest sa mga causing factor na pagtaas ng bilin like an energy. It's one of the projects of the Maharlika funds. Sa they will build factories or plants that are involved in energy production. It's part of it's part of the Maharlika Fund. That is why importante po yung Maharlika Fund. Ikaw na mismo ang nagsasuggest na they invest sa mga energy plants. Gagawin po nila yan. Kaya pag maingat po sila na hindi yung fund na, yung project na pag-i-invest bestahan nila ay magiging subject to corruption. Kaya magiging maingat yan. Bakit po? Kaya nga professional managers po ang magpapatakbo ng fund. Hindi government officials. Yan ang tandaan mo, Noel. Professional po ang magraran ng ating Maharlika Fund. Dati, I think people are freaked out by the growing debt. Pero ang Amerika, ang laki din ng utang. Not to say that it's right. Sa business po ba, di ba, you have to borrow money to grow your business. That's the way it is. Oh. Tama ka dyan. Ang pinakamalaking business company sa buong mundo, ang Apple, may utang. Ang Microsoft po, may utang. Ang Google po, puro may utang yan. Pero they can manage yung. Ang Amazon, may utang. But they have their debt, asset to debt ratio is well within control. Malaki ang asset over the debt ratio. You call it, you have a current ratio, which is accounting na ito eh. Current ratio is the current assets na ready, current assets na pwede mong i-dispose kagad over the current liabilities na pwede mong bayaran, may ratio dyan. And the investors look at it, kung masama ang ratio ng debt, ay hindi sila mag-invest on. Why have they become successful? Because they were able to borrow money. Tama po ang magaling nating presidente. Na si Clea Pontelo. Sa pananaw niya, as usual, magaling talaga ang aming presidente. We are proud of her. I think people are freaked out by the growing debt. Pero Amerika, ang laki-laki na. Kaya lang, na-downgrade po yung Amerika ng konti. Nagpanic yung tao nga eh. Kukunti lang. Pa rin ang rating ng credit rating ng Amerika. Nagpanic sila. Konting binaba lang. One notch lang down. Nagpanic na. Government surplus, ano ba ang issue ni Senator Miriam noon? Awan ko, pinipilit daw ubutin ang tirang pondo sa halip na ibalik sa kaban ng bayan. Yun nga. Hindi lahat ang sinasabi ni Miriam ay helpful to the economy. Napatunayan na yan ni Sen Jok, no? Yun ang maling akala, yung wrong approach. Yung mga kaya nga politiko ay takot ng mangutang dahil sa takot silang mabansakan na puro utang na lang. Pero hindi ka na planners, see it the other way. Kundi mo pupuntahan po. Tignan mo, Ruel, during the 40 years po, ang ini-spend lang po natin ay 2%. Katatapos lang ng aking pinisenta sa iyo. 2% lang ang spending natin. Nagtitipid po. Ano nangyari? Numunlad ba ng masyado ang ating bansa? Di ba nataglak pa nga sa kahirapan? So, kung magaling nga si mami niya, kung totoo yung sinasabi mo, mali siya doon. Mali ang pananaw niya. Ako, nag-aral po ako ng accounting, so I know that it is necessary for a business to borrow money just as long as you maintain the debt ratio to the asset of your company. Our credit rating is high, which speaks well of us. Okay. I mean, as the Philippines, when I say that, it's not kataasan po, but it is above the normal po. Mataas pa rin ang credit rating po. I mean, they use, hi, Ryan Backwell. Tay, kapag nagbabalik ang surplus ang isang ahensya, makakailip ba ng dagdag pondo sila gayong may surplus? Oh, you can always invest. Kung may, ito lang, Ruel, may pera kang nakuha, ah, na na-receive na sobra. Siyempre, you have a expected expense of 100. Nang natanggap mo ay 150. Di mayroon kang surplus na 50 pesos. Kung hayaan mo lang ang sa 50 pesos yun na simple na explanation, hayaan mo lang yung 50 pesos, hindi mo na-invest, magtataasan ng presyo ng mabiliin. This is the normal, this is normal, magtataasan yung presyo. So instead na ang value mo ng yung 150, ang dati mo mabibili ay 150, sa next time, kung 10 ang mabibili mo sa 150 mo, pesos mo, after 1 or 2 years, hindi ka makabili ng 10 produkto yun ng 150. So, kailangan mong ma-invest para matugunan ang pagtaas ng presyo ng inflation ng mga produkto. Kaya kung may surplus, the more that they should invest, yung mga pera. Maganda yung mga tanong mo. Nung may pera ka siguro, napansin mo, yung nagtaasan yung mga pera. Sana nakabili na ako ng ganito noon pa. Diba? Minsan nagsisisi ka na hindi mo nabili yung dating mong gustong bilhin. Sabi ni Will, tay, pag year-end, kapag bantayan ang gastos ng mga siya dahil pipilitin nila itong bubusin sa halip na ibalik sa kaban ng bayan. Oh, dapat lang. Pero mayroon tayong COA. Kapag unnecessary po yung kanilang expenditures, tulad nung nangyari sa tourism, napansin mo ba? Sinita sila ng COA. Pati nga si Sara Duterte, tama expenditures, hindi lang sumunod sa procedure, pero tama ang gasa, sinita ng COA. Mayroon tayong COA na magpoprotekta sa mga gastusin ng mga ahensya. Pag mabuso po sila, malilintikan sila. Yung walang patawad ng COA ngayon eh. They heed the advice of our president na maging stricto sa pangangalaga ng assets ng ating mga bansa, ng ating mabansa. Wala na yata akong panahon para i-discuss yung pero binomba ng Isay, ako. Diyan magaling ang mga Pilipino, ang makalamang. Mahirap na lang magsalita at natarantao. Okay. Natural. May mga talagang abusado. Kaya pilit na kinokontrol ni Presidente yung mga abusado. Bigyan na lang kita ng isang example. Walang kaibigan siya. Yung mga kaibigan niya ay out of favor sa kanya. I give you examples. O example na lang. Pero isang thumbnail ko yung binatter canon ng Chinese Navy ship, ang ating Navy ship. Talagang mga pasabay itong mga, tama ba ang word? Chinese. Pati US na ngayon ay umalma na. Sandali. Sandali. Sandali lang po. Balik kayo sa taas. Nandun lahat yung research ko. Credit to GMA News. Papasahin lang natin. Afterwards, i-discuss na natin. Mamaya na. Binata ko lahat ng mga comments, ha? Ay, at hindi tayo kasi, hindi talaga ako teki. Pero, basahin na lang natin. Mas maganda sana kung nandito si Riddler. China Coast Guard. Freshwater cannon versus Philippine Coast Guard. En route to Ayungin Shoal by GISELLE, GMA Integrated News. The United States has backed the Philippines over the latest attack of the Chinese Coast Guard against the vessels of the Philippine Coast Guard, the PCG, en route to Ayungin Shoal to resupply mission, saying that it directly threatens the peace and stability of the region. The U.S. Department of State said that the People's Republic of China the U.S. Department of State said that the People's Republic of China firing of water cannons at employing unsafe and blocking maneuver against the Philippines Saturday interfered with the lawful exercise of ISIS freedom of navigation and jeopardized the safety of the Philippine vessels and crew. So, masama na po ang ginagawa ng China. Pati mga Navy ships natin ay water cannon na. Ang purpose lang naman ng Navy ship is to resupply yung mga kawawang mga personnel nila at saka mga tao dun sa Ayungin Shoal. Hindi ba nila mapagbigyan ng ating mga beer vessels? Samantalang sa atin naman yun eh. Sila nga ang hindi sumusunod sa international law. Sila pa ang matapang. Kasi nakita ko yung picture, ang litong vessel ng Navy compared sa vessel ng China. Kaya ang tapang ng China. Kaya maganda po yung sa susunod yung plano ng Amerika at saka ng US at saka yung Philippines na magkaroon ng joint patrol. Siguro magkwikwi daw na ang China kung sakasakaling mayroong joint patrols po. Sabi ng US, such actions by the PRC are inconsistent and with international law. Yun ang sinasabi ko. Yung China, ang China nag-violate ng international law, hindi po ang Pilipinas. And are the latest in repeated threats to the status quo of the South China Sea, yung West Philippine Sea na tinatawag, directly threatening regional peace and stability. Yung hindi nila nalalaman na yung mga constant provocation ay baka mag-lead sa actual conflict po. Sabi niya ng China, they violated the territorial space of China. Hindi sila nanalo sa arbitral ruling. Ang basis lang na is yung claim nila na hindi inaayunan ng international community. Kaya, naisip ko ngayon na tama rin siguro na ginawa ng Senate yung resolution nila. Ayun, madadagdagan ng ammunition ng Senado na tama po yung ginawa namin, Presidente. Gumawa ka ng ban, i-elevate mo sa UN. Hindi na kasalanan ni Presidente kung i-elevate niya sa UN yung ginawa ng Senado dahil sa recent incident po. Kaya nga siguro walang masyadong news ang Presidente, pinagpupulungan nila ang response to this latest incident. Ano nga yung mga comment? Magbigay kayo ng komento. By impeding necessary provisions from reaching in the Filipino service members stationed at the second Thomas Shoal, the PRRC has also undertaken unwarranted interference in lawful Philippine maritime operation. Sip-sipin mo lang. Sip-sipin mo lang. Walang masamang intensyon ng Pilipinas. Hindi belligerent po ang Pilipino. Yung PCG yung Philippine Coast Guard, Sunday, condemned that CCG's, Chinese Coast Guard, dangerous maneuvers and illegal use of water cannons. Nangyari lang ito nung last Friday o last Saturday against services escorting the indigenous boats chartered by the forces of the Philippines. So, mahaba na po ang oras. I'll just read your comments and make the further commentaries later on. So, anong mga comments nyo? Masama talaga ang Riddler, gusto mong makat? Okay na, basahin. Okay. Nandiyan ang StreamYard. Okay. I'll post the StreamYard ulit. O yan, nagbabasa na si Riddler. O, Riddler. Kasi kung gagawin nilang gagawin ito, mapipilitan gawa na yung... Okay. Punta tayo, bago tayo punta tayo dun sa taas, basahin natin ang bumbu. Konti na lang. Okay, basa. Riddler. You're nasa live ka na. Riddler. Sandali we wait for Riddler. So, nabasa mo tayo ng komento. What happened, Riddler? Okay, so... Habang nanaantay natin siya, magbasa tayo ng comments. Ipatawag ni ang Chinese ambassador agad. Okay, dapat isara niyan. Pero dati nang ginawa ng presidente yan. Parang walang epekto. Yeah. Ahon lang ako, just say the magic word. Pwede na. Pwede nang magbasa. Ito. Okay lang, ubutin ng ahensya ng gobyerno ang punto ng basa. Tama ka dyan, Ruel. Ang mahirap kasi nanalo na tayo sa kaso, ang dating administrasyon sinamang isya sa piece of paper. Mali talaga dyan si Presidente Duterte. Hindi niya pinaglaban ng gusto ang arbitral ruling. Hindi natin siya binabatik sa todo. Pero dapat po ay pinaglaban niya. Ang worry niya siguro ay mas baka tirahin tayo ng China. He was worried. Kaya sila binigyan ng pondo ng mga ahensya ay upang bibigay ang serbisyo sa tao at mapaunlad ng bansa tulad ng infrastruktura. Tama, Maria Cristina. Tama ka. You're one of the best. Okay. Oh, ready na. Okay na? Okay. Sabi niya, hindi tulad ng Aquino administration, may mga surplus budget sa mga ahensya, subalit poor service sa tao at walang infrastructure project. Low spending, money expenditure, and circulation is bad also. Yun sinasabi ko. Yan sinasabi ko. Low spending, hindi aangat ang ating bansa. If you want to grow your business, you must spend. And if you do not have the funds to spend, you are forced to borrow. Simple lang ang logika ng borrowing ng gobyerno. Okay lang. Hindi, something is wrong with your mind. They hear us. Wala, hindi ka naman naka-mute sa akin. O, hindi ka nga namin marinig. Hindi ka nga namin marinig. Anong kan? Do I go out of the kan and then go back again?
Just read what you post.
Anyway, no sound from Riddler, okay? He is having technical problems po. Okay lang. Kasi, babasahin na lang niya mamaya sa, i-discuss ko dito mamayang gabi kasi pag-discuss ko doon mamayang gabi, kasama na po yung reactions po ng mga senador. Ito lang po ay wala kang sound nga. Diyan ka mali. Si Aquino ang nagpagawa ng State 39 Skyway. Is that hindi po mali si M. Chris. Kasi ang spending po ni President Noynoy ay less 2% po. Mayroon siyang proyektong na State 39 Skyway. Aside from that, may sasite ka pa bang ibang proyekto ni Noynoy Aquino tungkol sa infrastruktura? Ruel? Siya may proyekto ng Bulacan LRT, kanya ang tiplik na nag-iwan ng malaking budget. Hindi ko alam yan, pero kung sakali, is still well below the 5% necessary to improve our government. Bakit hindi tinawag na bill yung kay President Aquino? I am not sure what you're saying. Kanya ba talaga yan? Kung kanya, well and good. But it was still well below par. Hindi po umabot ng 5% spending po. Natulad ng sinasabi po ni Secretary Jokno na kailangan ang spend natin ay 5%. Yung hindi pumayag doon sa reclamation, sa flood control project na nagumpisa doon sa panahon ni Gloria Arroyo, nagbayad pa tayo ng multa. Kasi ayaw niya mag-spend ng pera. Are you sure na kasasabi lang po ng ating mahusay na secretary that when you do a project, it takes planning. So yung planning ba niyo yun? How long does it take to build such a complex? Pwedeng natapos sa panahon po ni Noynoy Aquino, pero it was not started during Noynoy Aquino's term. Could you clarify it for me? It was started during Noynoy Aquino's term, yung mga binabanggit mo? Can you show me evidence? Oh, yun ang tinatanong ko. It's easy. It's easy po to cite these things. But show me who planned it. When was it started? If you can provide me with such information, I would believe you. Okay, kapag restart ka na, okay. Pwede na. Okay, pwede ka nang magbasa. Ayan. Nakaget ka na. Oh, nandiyan o. Nandiyan na yung background. Oh, nandiyan na oh. Give me access on my sorry. Nagkaroon ng News 7 Filipino during Aquino time, pagpairam sa ng 12 million US dollars. 12 million US dollars. Sino nagpairam? Hindi ko alam. Pero the 12 million dollars is equal to only not even 1 billion pesos. Think of it, Ruel. Is that material enough to cite as an achievement? Oh, $12 million, assuming that your information is correct, is that even worth 1 billion pesos po. Ang budget po required natin, 8 trillion pesos po. Kaya tama po si Sec joke, no? The spending was too low. Yung sinasat mong figure is arguing yourself, is an argument that proves that the argument of Secretary Jokno is correct and not your argument po. $12 million. I-multiply mo na lang sa 60. Mahama niyo. So, aabot po niyan ay 720 million pesos. 1 trillion po yung budget natin eh. Minuscule po yung sinasabi mo achievement ni Noynoy Aquino. Ang sinasabi natin, yung spending niya ay less than 5% po, which is necessary so that our country and its economy will progress. Oh. How can you counter your own my argument ni Secretary Duke? Oh. When you cite a figure that is only $12 million, Kasi maganda yung mga punto mo. Assuming na $12 million dollars nga, I will, you Googled it, oh, okay, I will believe you. $12 million dollars lang, kahit at the most na 60 pesos per dollar, 720 million ng pesos, in pesos ha. I-trillion na ating budget. Ngayon. Ibig sabihin, hindi po sapat yung paggasa niya tungkol para pagpaunlad sa ating bansa. Starting yung with Mr. Ang you are talking of the private public participation po. Investment ng SMC yun. Hindi po niya expenditure yun. Private and public partnership po. So hindi solely po ang project ni Noynoy yan. Give credit to him also for that. Pero hindi siya gumasa sa infrastrukturang yan. Ang gumasa po niyan, kung nanagsabi, ay ang San Miguel Corporation. Ang sinasabi ni Secretary Jokno, kailangan ang gobyerno ang siyang gumasa. Ikaw na rin nagsabi, nagpapatunay sa yung argumento na hindi po si Noynoy ang gumasa. Si San Miguel Corporation, si President na si Mr. Ang. Kaya nga sa kanila napunta yung Tiplex. Kaya nga nagsisingil po ng bayad yung Tiplex para maisukli sa San Miguel Corporation ang kanilang investment. Pero ang sinasabi po ni Secretary Jokno ay ang gobyerno ang gagasta. Sasamahan pa ng private entities para mas tumami ang proyekto. Kaya pala yung Sky 3, proyekto pala ng San Miguel yan. Hindi solely project ng gobyerno. Ikaw na rin ang nagpatunay sa argumento ni Secretary Junto na siya ang tama. May di-deny mo ba na ang gumasa ng Sky 3 ay ang San Miguel Corporation? Antiplex ang gumasa po ay San Miguel Corporation. Kaya nasa kanila ang kontrata. Hindi po ang gobyerno ang gumasa diyan. Okay. Tati Jack, malamang may problema. Okay. So, kung naririnig mo po ako, ay hindi po siguro sa akin ang problema. So, it's all right. Tatapusin ko lang itong mga comment and then hindi na ako magbabasa ng kwan. Ay wala akong naririnig sa kanya. Naririnig ba ako? Do they hear me? Babalik ako tonight. Okay. $7 Filipino million, okay, they made money. It's all right. Dapat natin pagmalaki yun. Even 1% when it is good is enough, don't do nothing. Correct. is good, but it's not good enough. Wala tayong pinagdidiskusyon dyan, Ruel. Better than doing nothing. But it's not good enough for the progress of the Philippine economy. Para bang 1%, but 75 is good enough when you can have 95%. 1% is pasangawa. 75% sa high school or sa elementary is good enough for you to pass. But it's not good enough to go to a higher learning institution if you ever apply. Hindi ka tatanggapin kung 75 lang ang grado mo sa UP. Sa Lasal? Hindi. Hello, Maita Baisa? Kaya nga, yes, 2%, but the fund was intact at nagamit ng sumunod na administration. Yeah, wala tayong pinagdidiskusyon dyan. Well, ang sinasabi ni Secretary Jokno ay kailangan 5% ang normal spending ng gobyerno para umusad ang ekonomiya. Yes, 2%. But the fund was intact nga. Wala nga akong sinabi ko nga na nakatipid nga ang kanilang gobyerno. May surplus pa nga sometimes. Pero umusad po ba ang ating ekonomiya? Dahil sa mayroon bang 7.6% increase in GDP katulad ng nangyayari ngayon? Dahil sa spending na 5% ng ating gobyerno? Bakit hindi po nangyari yung 7.6% na increase in our GDP? If they 2% spending ni Nonoy Aquino is good enough. Sagutin mo yan. Matalino ka naman eh. Kung ng 2% ng spending ni Nonoy Aquino was good enough to produce a 7% GDP increase, the highest in 46 years. Bakit hindi nangyari sa administration ni Nonoy Aquino spending 2% only? Ito, talakayan lang ito ha. Argumento sa argumento. Naninindigan ako the best option is both. So, hindi ka naniniwala kay Secretary Jokno? Who has been also under the employment of Nonoy Aquino? Do you know that Secretary Jokno was also appointed by Noynoy? But Noynoy doesn't listen to his advice? Walang Pangulo na gagastusin sa sariling pera tayo. Of course, they will not spend their own money. Kaya nga, ang government, ang siyang umuutang para yung proyekto nila ay may sa katuparan. Ito, rin magaling na ako. Sasagutin ka ng ibang viewers ko. Marie Chris, yung budget ni Aquino ay maraming, kung yung budget ni Aquino, ni Nonoy Aquino, President Aquino, ay maraming ibig sabihin, maraming services na hindi na ibigay sa mamamayan. Correct! Pinakpakan again. Hindi ko nakita ang puntong yan. Ikaw ang cum laude ngayon, Marie Cres. Sa budget deliberation, naka-specify ang magagastos para sa mga serbisyo ng gobyerno. Tama ka, hindi maraming service na hindi mo naibigay. Tignan mo kung paano sumagot. Sorry, okay lang. Ay, sandali. Baka kung may diferensya, okay? Mayroon na bang sound? Sorry ha. May bago ulit live, Tatay Jack. Kasi kanina nawalan. Okay. Siri, wala pa audio. Ewan ko kung ano nangyari. So, anyway, mamaya tatalakay natin ito ng bumbu. Mega Love Chat, GISELLE Official, Santa Beer, Ma'am Lynn Tech. Hello, hello. Itong sabi niyang, correct, Ruel Lingham Brown. Anything is good, but not good enough, as Tatay Jack says. Yun sinasabi ko. Pwedeng paso na yan, pero hindi yan ang, kung ang intention mo lang ay pumosa, hindi ka mag-i-improve. Tama po, yan ang puto ni GNL opinion. If you are satisfied with a lackluster performance, then you're not going to improve your status in life. Nakita mo kung halimbawa, natapos ka sa trabaho, mayroon kang pang time, pero tapos ko na naman yung trabaho ko, hindi naman kailangan tumumbaho ng iba. Hindi mag-improve ang life, hindi po mag-improve ang ekonomiya if that is the attitude of the president. Kaya nga yan ang sinasabi ni Sec Duke. No? Kaya nga importanteng ipaprinig sa inyo ang pananaw ni Secretary Duke, no, who has been employed since by the government, since I think during the time of Secretary President Joseph Estrada o pati hanggang kay Fidel Ramos pa nga yata. You must have the experience, and experience teaches you valuable lessons. That is why President Marcos, Chief President Bongbong Marcos, employed him, appointed him as the Secretary of Finance because he knows that he is good. Hindi, ordinaryo lang tayong mga tao. Wala tayong kasing talino ni President, ni Secretary Joe. And besides, you can see from his arguments na tama siya. Kasi he has actual results to prove his point. Bakit? Bigla na lang tumaas ang ating GDP, the best in Asia, in Southeast Asia for that matter. Kaya, tama po si GNL. As usual po, yung 2% expenditures ay good, but not good enough to reach the North Star direction. Yung North Star, in-explain ko kung ano yung North Star. Classmate Textibilia enjoyed the rest of the Sunday. Riddler, Bear, mega love shout to, sabi ni Ryan Blackwell. Ryan Blackwell, good afternoon po. Hello, Riddler Official Blog, sabi ni Diana. Okay, magandang naman ang punto mo rito. Tatay, mahirap magkaroon ng malaking proyekto at after 6 years ay iwan sa balikat ng mamayan ang bayarin. Kaya nga, kailangan natin may baro para ipagpatuloy ang proyektong yan. Kasasabi ni, ikaw na rin na nagsabi niyan. Kasasabi lang ni Secretary Diok, no? And reason why we are borrowing. Kasi if we do not borrow, the naantalang project left by the past administration will not be able to be completed. Oh, ikaw na rin na nagsabi. Mahirap na magkaroon ng malaking project. After 6 years, ay iiwan sa balikat ng mamayang bayaran. Kaya, uutang tayo para, sabi nga ni Secretary Diok, no, the borrow is an investment for our future. Na mo nangyari, naging backward po tayo kasi we did not borrow enough to be able to do infrastructure projects. Oh. Simpleng tao lang ako. Once good enough is, okay, one is good to win. Pero iba yung klase, tinambakan mo, di ba? Iba ang feeling na tumambak ka. Siguro, yung 1%, 1 point lang na pinanalo mo, nakachamba ka lang. Nakachamba ka lang sa 1 point. Pero kung tambak, walang kaduda-duda, talagang nanalo ka. Kung isa lang puntos ang inilaman mo, pero parang nakachamba ka lang. If you're going to use that analogy. Samantalang, kung 30 points ang lamang mo, ay talagang pinapakita mo na super galing ang team mo. Kung nanalo yung team mo ng 1 point, baka nakachamba lang. Magaganda yung mga argumento mo, pero mayroon kaming counter-argument. If planning is insufficient and fear of failure is a factor, walang progress po. Magaling namang mag-analyze si GNL. Kung puro takot at saka ang planning na hindi sufficient daw, hindi tayo po progreso. Tay, iba ang plano mo ihain kaysa sa resulta. Maganda lagi ang plano, ang investment ay sugal. Okay. Kaya nga, mayroon mga tao nagsusugal sa stock market at sila ang yumayaman. Kung wala bang magsusugal o walang yumayaman po sa stock market, magkakaroon ba ng stock market? Ang stock market is a place where people invest. Doon, yumaman sila. Mark Zuckerberg, si Elon Musk, si Jeff Bezos. Kasi nangutang sila para sa kanilang mga investment. They started from scratch and look at their companies. In trillions po ang worth ng companies nila ngayon. Meron naman po. Can you hear? Can you speak out? Reader? Basahin mo nga yung kan. O yan, meron naman po. Pero hindi po naririnig ng iba. The BOT built, operate, and transfer is not always good. It is a private-public partnership which takes time in order to in order the private to earn. They take advantage of 20 to 30 years time before the government can get it. Oh, tama na naman si Chris. Kaya sabi ko, mahusay si Mr. Ang. He got the project started. Ginastaan niya. At then, ang length of time for them to recover the investment is going to work for them. Hello, Simply Talkies. Patapos na po ang aming kan. Pero binabasa ko pa. Welcome, Simply Talkies. Ang proyekto, pondo kahit nandyan, pero dahil demokrasya, problema ang right of way. So, inaaral lahat yan. Siyempre, yung right of ways ay kinukonsidera sa top pagpaplano. Wala tayong diskusyon dyan. Ang tawag na ang ibang pananaw niyan lamang ng isa sa basketball, maybe not, but in government, it is not. Oh, that's right. Tama siya. Tama ulit si Dianel Pinis. Ang tinik, bangus talaga siyang magbigay ng komentaryo. Hindi pa lang siya, hindi ko lang. Walang problema sa the right of way. Only need political will. Kaya nga, tingnan mo, si Presidente Marcos, walang umasikaso sa Men in Uniform Pension Fund Reform. Siya lang ang nakaroon ng guts para banggahin ang mga sundalong umaayaw na reformahin ang Men in Uniform Pension Fund Reform. Kailangan ng tapang ang politika. Tama ulit Chris. Kailangan ng political will. Mayroong political will ang ating presidente. Dapat mong hangaan yan. Shout out, Simply Talkies Blog. Sabi ng director ako, skip daw si Trixie. Kaya nga may budget deliberation para may scrutinize nila kung saan nakalaan ang specific budget para may maging basehan sa audit end of the calendar. Correct! Ang galing ng analysis ni Trixie. Kaya nga maroon tayong COA, Ruel. Ruel, you muted your Palaiko, reader, you muted your audio. Palaiko, hindi ko masolusyon. Okay, wala na yung mute. Okay, tatay, technical difficulties. Okay. So, tama na ulit si Texie Bilia. Ang galing na analysis mo. Texie Bilia. Maria Cristina, JNL, mega love shout to. Blessed Sunday classmate. Si JNL. Sabi ng director kay Miss. Wala. Sinabi,
No,
binasa ko yan.
No, you didn't.
I did.
I didn't hear it.
Oh, yun nga. If planning is insufficient and fear of failure is a factor, walang progress. Sinabi ko yan. Mali si direktora. Diba? Sabi ko, ang galing
Oh,
ni.
yan, tapos na.
So, Ryan Blackwell, pink hand, pink waving. Sabi ni Jenny, President Nonoy Aquino did not have the knowledge nor the experience to guide the Philippines toward the road to progress. I think so. I do agree. He lacked executive experience. He might have good intentions, but he lacked the executive experience to do the necessary things for the improvement of our economy. Tama ulit si General Opinions, I'm sad to say. Aiming high is good kung kaya, kung di ito ay dinadagdag lang sa pasanin ng mamayan, kung kaya kong magtiis, kung di ka mag-aim ng high, how can you progress? You remain to be mediocre? Do you want to be called mediocre po? Kaya nga, my North Star is only a guide. Kung nagka-miss ka man ng konti, mabuti yun. Kasi you aim high. Kaya nga, sa sports, you are fond of citing sports. Kaya nga may mga new world record holder because they are not satisfied with the current record, the world record. They aim higher. Hayaan na lang yung previous holder, ganun na lang, lamang. Bakit nagkakaroon pa ng previous new world record holder? Kasi they aim high. There is a risk, but it's worth taking that risk. Magandang diskusyon ngayon dahil sa iyo, Ruel. Marie Chris agree. Sabi ni Trexie. Kaya nga sa Office of Vice President, si Madam Lenlen, sa audit meron silang di ma-explain ang pinagmamalaki na marami silang na gastos o sa ibig sabihin may mga dapat paglaanan na di nagawa. Kaya nga, kundi kung may sobrang may sobra sa kanilang pondo, ibig sabihin, tama si Marie Christie, hindi sila tama sa pag-prepare ng budget. Nag-overstate sila ng budget. Kaya mayroon silang sobrang budget. So, next year, yung budget nila ay mababawasan because they were not able to satisfy the budget committee the necessary expenses which say they are now projecting. Kaya importante yung may mga viewers dito bangus. Ganun nga ang kaso ni Lenlen. Sabi ni Marie Chris. General opinion, correct, sabi niya. Wala po. Ang sugal kung sariling pera, okay lang. Pero kung public fund, mabigat yun. Hindi natin pinag-uusapan ng ordinaryong sugal. Because hindi nakikipagsugal ang gobyerno. They are not into a game of chance. This is an investment mo. Where the chances of success, pwedeng success, is high. May study dyan. Hindi yun purely a game of pula-puti. Yan. Ini-study po yan. Kaya nga may economic planners. Kung di mo sinusunod po yung economic plans mo, bakit ka pa magkakaroon ng Department of Finance? Buong departamento, tayo mo na. Kung susundin natin yung payo mo, wala ng Department of Finance, wala na rin ang NEDA. Ano mangyayari sa bansa natin kung mawala ang mayo? Unang-una, kinakailangan natin sila para magplana. Sinasabi na nila, ni NEDA at saka Department of Finance, na kailangan natin ng 5 to 6% per annum up to sustained up to 20 years pa nga para makaabot tayo sa makaratig na bansa sa kanilang development. Ayaw mo bang magipantay tayo sa karatig na bansa natin? Gusto mong mapanitili ang backward natin na 2% lang ginagasa? Naka-open ang mic ko. Saksi ako sa turnover ng excess sa gobyerno. Pero anong nangyari? Napabayaan. Kaya binalik? Sabi ba? Kung napabayaan nga, dapat lang ibabalik sa pribado. Ibig sabihin, may ginagawa ang gobyerno. Na-realize na hindi nila pwedeng patakbuhin ang pangungulekta. Diyan din ang kontra-argument sa'yo. Ngayon, kung hayalan ng gobyerno na mapabayaan yan, bobo, hindi katalinuhan ang gobyerno. Kasi, alam mo, katulad yan sa Marlica Fund, kailangan ng professional managers. Kung gobyerno ang magpapatakbo po, hindi sila professional. Kaya nagkaroon siguro ulit ng another agreement. Yan. Magaganda yung pinupunt mo, pero mas maganda ang mga sagot namin. Di ba? Kung ikaw, alam mong hindi mo kaya, may business ka, alam mong hindi mo kaya yung patakbuhin, anong gagawin mo? Kukuha ng manager para magpatakbo ng business mo. Kundi mayroon kang hindi katalinuhan sa business. Sa bansang lagi 1% ng kabutin ay okay na ako. Pananaw mo yan. Unang-una, dapat lang labanan ng korupsyon. Pero even in the States, may corruption pong nangyayari. Where money is involved, the chances of corruption is always there. The chances are always there. So, if you want to remain stagnant, it's up to you. Kaya mali ka siguro. Kaya ka mo pinili ang maling partido siguro because you believe in the principle. You believe in the non-progress of the Philippines. You prefer to be stagnant. I do not blame you. You have the right to prefer to be a mediocre. You want to select a mediocre set of government officials who do not have the progress of the economy in their way of running the government. Gusto mo lang ay one point lang ang panalo, hindi yung tambak. Maganda dahil sa iyo, Ruel. So, go ahead. Bangus Flexibilia. Once ang budget ay naibigay na, pananagutan na ito na nga siya, yun ang rating kanya-kanya yun. Yan nga, pananagutin na atin. Kaya nga meron tayong COA. Hindi nga pinatawad ng COA ang turismo. Mayroon tayong yung pinababalik yung pera sa gobyerno, sa mga nasasangkot. Di ba, Ruel? Hindi ka nagbabasa ka siguro ng balita. Oo. Kung wala ka dito, Ruel, antukin talaga ako. Kaya nga, gusto kita eh. Pero magalangan ang pagtalakay natin. Hindi personalan, di ba? Nasa sa viewers ko na lang kung sino ang paniniwalaan. Ikaw, maganda ka magpresenta ng argument mo. Pero may mga maganda rin na pagpresenta ng mga viewers dito. Nagsasabi lang ako ng tunay na kondisyon na naranasan ng pangkanero. Totoo yan. Ordinary kasi hindi nila naiintindihan. They did not understand and they do not understand the proper way of investing sa infrastruktura. Kailangan dumating si President Rodrigo Duterte at si President Marcos. Kita mo, biglang umunlad ang ating bansa. Lahat ng investment ay may risk, but if you do not try and take the risk, you will not tama. And the most important, money is in order for you to start, kaya tayo umuutang. Correct. Sinat ko na ang example, yung mga big company, Microsoft, they started from scratch. Ang Facebook nga, for several years, ay nalulugi. They started, I think, $27 lang ang stock ng Facebook. This is now Meta. Now, it's more than $313. Over tenfold. Kita mo ang progress niyan. Kung di sila nangutang, paano sila makaka-raise ng that much? That real stock will be 10 times bigger than when they started. Kaya, ang sinasabi mong 27, kung di sila nangutang, hindi, baka nag-decrease pa yung stock nila to almost zero. Dagdag ko lang sa budget deliberation, yung mga makabayang vlog, they are questioning the intel fund. So shall we, saan daw gawin, bakit malaki, pwede ba ma-audit? Yes, no audit yun. Hi, Mr. Alibuga. Hello, it's been a long time. Simply talking. Tataputin ko lang ito nga. Thank you for gracing my show. Ang channel ko na, dedicated na lang kay Pbbm. Ayoko na ng awayan. So, if you want to learn more about PBM, wala nang ibang kwan dito. Wala nang personalan dito. Only PBBM and good news about PBBM. Sir Alibuga. Alibuga TV. Thank you very much. I'm honored that you, again, try came to visit my channel. Tay, sukal investment, alam din natin yan. Yeah. Pero hindi po purely sukal yan. It is. Kaya nag-invest because there is a big assurance that the return on investment, ang tinatawag po dyan, Ruel, may return on investment projection po. Sa sukal, you cannot project, yung purely sukal, you cannot project yung actual returns. Talagang game of chance. In investment, it's not really a game of chance. Kaya, lalo na, the more, biglang nakapandem, bumagsak ang stock market. Yes, it happened during the World War II. But it regained, the stock market regained its value. It's even more valuable now than when it first started. Yung mga arguments mo can be countered by the actual results. The stock market is not always going up. It might go down. Right now, the stock market is down. But over the past 20 years lang, the stock market generally is up so high. If you do not invest in the stock market and you have not used your money, then you will run out of money. You will not keep it. Your money will not keep up its purchasing power if you do not invest. Because prices keep going up due to inflation po. Your presence here is welcome, Ruel, as we get to hear the opposing side. So, binibigyan ka ng congratulations. Although salungat sila sa sinasabi mo, they are giving you credit coming from GNL opinions. Yung isa sa pinakamagaling magbigay ng opinion dito. Personal ko pananaw yun. Okay, we respect your opinion. Kaya lang we give our own counter opinions. Hindi ako politiko, nangangarap din ako makaroon, pero sa pagod ko, sa punan ko, hindi ko isinuskal ang pondo ng association. You're the leader of the association. Yeah, you should not invest. Kung wala kang kapasidad para mag-aral ng investment, wag mong isugal. You are prudent in your decision. Kaya nga ingat ka. Ngayon, kung lumaki yung pondo nyo na malaki, anong gagawin mo sa surplus? Di-deposit mo sa bangko. That is the safest way to safeguard your assets. You do not keep it in your pockets. You invest it sa deposit sa bangko. In that way, you are investing po. Nakikita mo ang aking punto? Ruel, alam natin na lahat ng investment suka, at least alam natin na may chance na panalo. Unlike sa casino, walang yumayan. Mas marami ang nalugi and the losers. Again, kasi although it is a little bit of gambling, it is not pure gambling. It is studied gambling po. It is a mayroon kang projection. Mayroon kang North Star. Wala na pong comments. Please. Galit na sa akin yung direktor ako. gutom na raw siya. Please, pagbigyan niyo na ako. Huwag na kayong mag-comment. Oh. Babasahin natin lahat ng please stop making comments. Sobra, we are almost 3 hours na. Ruel Lingan, yung possibility ng biglang magkagera or magka-pandemic is just a possibility, not all the time. Oh. Nagkaroon ng pandemic. Oh. Kaya napilitan tayong mangutang ulit. Oh. Nakasama ba sa ating ekonomiya ang pangungutang? Naka-recover na ang ating Pilipinas. Nagkaroon na nga ng 7.6% GDP increase, which was the highest in 46 years. Dahil sa pangungutang yan, well. Yan, tama ka dito. One option, kumbinsin ng gobyerno na ang private sector na magbenta na sila ng bonds para makalikom ng mundo. Ginagawa po yan ng gobyerno. Ginagawa po yan ng gobyerno. They sell bonds. Meron ba yata yung pag-ibig bonds? Ewan ko yung current. Good night. Thank you very much. Ito, pinapalakpakan ka dito. Maski, dahil sa mga kontrang pananaw mo na magalang maganda ang presentasyon mo. Unlike kahapon yung best streamer, walang sense yung sinasabi niya. Amik. Nakahabol po si Sir Amik. Palakpakan sa iyo, Ruel. Kita mo? Pumapalakpak sa iyo si Sir Amik. Palakpakan po. Kasi, yan sinasabi ko sa inyo, gayahin niyo si Ruel na hindi takot magbigay ng maski salungat na opinyon. Maski nag-agree kayo ng opinyon, magbigay ng opinyon para matuto tayo lahat. Kasi may iba-ibang punto. Mega love shout out sa aming sabi ni a blessed day. May disadvantage ito. Text Billy, good night. Kararating lang from Lavender Field. Jane Bugi, isa pang kailangan suportahan po natin. Jane Bugoy, mixed blood. At the end of the show, you find time to please subscribe to John Bugoy Mixed Vlogs at sa lahat ng mga independent vloggers na napunta rito. Kaibigan ko kayo lang. Walang personalan dito. Mo yan. Hindi sila na may personal. Jane Bugoy, okay. If bond price increase, interest rate decrease. It's or vice versa. So, wala nang komento. Maria Christina Chris is the last. Si Ruel ay nagbabay na. Okay, bye-bye. I love you all. Thank you, Ruel. Thank you, Mary Chris. Thank you, General Opinions. Thank you, Trixie Villa, and all the rest who made comments. So that's the end of the show. Thank you, Alet. Good night, Jane Bugay. Host, napadalan po. Okay, we'll try to subscribe to you. Hello, Maite Besa. Sorry. Patapusan po ang aking show. Yung sa next show ko po, didiscussin ko po yung China fires water cannon sa Philippine Navy natin, pati ang reaction ng ating mga senador. Thank you. Good night po, everyone. Bye.